In terms of some other things, we talked about it in February. We have launched a series of programs in our Hivebrite community to help you learn and connect, help us learn and connect as well. Please take advantage of the Hive Match program, the office hours. Also, please participate in the beta programs. It should appear under the product lab section. Our community team has done a wonderful job revamping our community site to make all of this easy to access. Plus, in this last release, I don't know how many of you have had a chance to check out the May release, but we've now added something called resources on your back office that allows you to access not only the Hivebrite community and understand and connect and learn from the community, but also provide us feedback directly from the back office. We'd specifically like to hear about your frictions because we want to know firsthand what are some capabilities that come in the way of you being able to do your job. So please submit your feedback. We really value it. We really consume it. Next slide.
And Usha, perhaps one last thing, that Ask AI anything, that's also an improvement that we did. It existed, but we improved it. So you should be able already to get a lot of answers to your questions on how to do anything in the product based on our knowledge base. So don't hesitate to use it and give us feedback on that as well.
Thanks, Tariq. And good point on that, because we've made that also available to your group admins. So they should also be able to self-serve some of the content in the back office from our knowledge base. So please encourage all your administrative staff to use this. Next slide, please. Yeah, just a quick recap from our February presentation. When Tariq and I presented the roadmap for the year, we presented our key themes, and that has not changed. As much as we've rapidly evolving and introducing AI features and other things that you're here to hear about, our themes still remain the same, and we are focused around what matters most to communities that we serve. First and foremost, enabling content and discovery at an easy pace. Second, to be able to allow connections and networking to happen in an easy way. Thirdly, to constantly be able to enable you to do more with less. That's scalable management. And finally, there's always a steady stream of effort that we put towards really improving our platform at its core, which then makes all of these other themes possible. With that, we'll jump into, I'll spend a few minutes and just cover very quickly what we've done to date. We are in month 5 of the year, and it's been a roller coaster. We internally have been going through a lot of transformation ourselves. We have adopted AI in a big way, whether across all the departments. We've also recently launched new packaging, which you probably heard about through our communications that went out along with the May release. So this is all in preparation for enabling you all to be able to consume more and more features of Hivebrite as we introduce more of AI automations and other capabilities that you're about to hear about today. But let's take a quick look at what we've done in the last 5 months, which will set the context for what Tariq is going to present about what we are doing in the future. So going to the next slide, we'll take each of those 3 themes and quickly summarize for you some of the main things that we've delivered in those themes, and we'll continue to show you what we're delivering along those themes going forward. The whole idea here is to serve people information at the point of need and in a contextual way. You've probably seen that AI is now live on the platform with a global search, which helps members to search not only at a global level, but also at a group level. We've also been able to go live with our content recommendations feature, where on detailed pages, you'll see relevant content. You can also, actually going back to search, you can also pick various search preferences. For example, do you want to search the most relevant content or the most recent content and so on? On the content recommendation side, again, it serves up both global content as well as group level content. And finally, we've added something called custom reactions. And in case you're wondering, why is that related to content and discovery? It actually helps you understand what kind of reactions you're getting from your members. It helps our learning engine also understand what kind of reactions people provide, and that allows us to then further personalize and tailor that content through our AI capabilities. So, and it's cool. I mean, we've been enjoying that ourselves within our own communities, and hopefully you can also use that in yours. I mean, and if it's any incentive, you'll see this later in the analytics slide. We also help you understand what kind of reactions are coming from your audiences. So you can then decide, is that content hitting its mark in terms of its relevance or not? We also have released the polls feature in GA, both on the web as well as the mobile app. And you can also schedule live posts to maximize consumption based on the time and day of the week when your audience best receives your content. So that's all under content and discovery. Actually, I have a quick question for you. We are also trying to see how we make sure that what we release to our customers is properly utilized. So we'd like you to answer a quick poll on whether you've seen all of these features. Is that something that you're finding useful? You've seen all of it, you've seen some of it, you've seen none of it. And if you have or have not, if you've got any feedback for us, that'd be much appreciated. So take a few seconds to answer the poll while we move on to the next slide. So what are we seeing?
Mainly some of it.
Okay. So it might be worthwhile for you to attend the office hours. Maybe we can go run through the release and in multiple office hours that are upcoming so that you can understand how these features work and understand how you would turn them on in your own communities. Next slide, please. Just like along the same theme of content and discovery, obviously the idea of enabling those features in the mobile app is to be able to offer the same things on the go. So the AI search capabilities that we had launched in beta now is available in GA mode, both on the web as well as on the mobile app. You've now got a new notifications tab, which allows people to go and understand what they have not read, quickly consume it, and then mark them as read, as well as we've converted a number of other pages to a native experience. So you should see a significant improvement in the mobile app performance overall. I think the app has come a long way in the last year. See over those of customers who actually launch the app, we see about 30% of their traffic shift to the app within a few weeks of launching the app. We'll talk more about this later, but mobile analytics is here as well, so you'll be able to also see what kind of lift you get in your engagement based on the usage of the app. So that's something we are extremely excited about. We use it quite extensively within Hivebrite, and so that's been there's been a noticeable improvement internally as well in how much people engage once they have the app. You'll see along with it, along the same theme of performance improvements and usability, you'll see that the user profile is now much more pleasant to use as well as quick. There's a light user profile. Of course, the more lengthy user profile is still a web view, which will be transformed eventually, but the light user profile already serves most of the needs, is what we're seeing. Polls, like I said before, is already native on the app, as well as we've got finally the copy feature on the app, something that I personally struggle with when I try to repost content or do something like that. So excited about that. Next slide. Moving on to connections and networking. So we just looked at content and discovery. The second theme, content, connections and networking, is where the member profile itself has been redesigned. You'll see the AI intro section of the profile, which I find interesting. My favorite feature is being able to hover over a picture and be able to see a quick snippet of that person's background, which helps me to understand and connect with them better. I also love the new directory on the mobile app, which allows you to see in a very clean view. Also, the filters have been updated. Last night I was looking at the most relevant, the most engaged users on using the directory. And of course, I saw some of our favorite customers show up as some of our most engaged users in the Hivebrite community. So thank you for your participation and enjoy the new directory. Give us feedback because we are continuously improving on these features. Next, we've launched a series of feature updates to Orbit, starting with populating the sign-up form with data from the Hivebrite profile, which I think is a big deal and has been a long pending improvement, but we were able to do it because we've now been able to harmonize our tech stacks between Hivebrite and Orbit. In the same vein, we've now launched Orbit on Europe servers. So the data resides in Europe. So this was something that our Europe-based customers have requested. So I would urge you to go trial Orbit and take advantage of this now. And finally, my favorite feature in Orbit is the whole reciprocal feedback feature, which allows people to see feedback that their Orbit connection gave them if they're able to reciprocate with giving them feedback themselves. So it's a nice feature to be able to get people to provide feedback, which then can be leveraged in so many different ways in your community programming. So that's exciting. Again, we've tried it internally and it feels like you can get a lot more feedback by doing this than you would otherwise have received. Anything I'm missing, Tariq, on the Orbit front? Because it feels like we've done so much work in Orbit.
That's exactly the point, Usha. I think I read also some comments, and I think it's super important. Some comments of some of you who are discovering some features if they discussing with their account manager or now, it would be super helpful if in the comments or later on, you just share with us what's your challenge in discovering these features, because we are trying different channels, emails. The back office now is giving you also information in the My Resources. We are creating this what's new in the back office. If you go to the back office, I hope that every one of you saw that new feature so that you get them live. So it would be super helpful to have your feedback on that, and we'll try to improve it. But on Orbit specifically, Usha, you are spot on.
Great. Let's move on. The next piece is scalable management. Big drop, release drop on events. The back office revamp came with a chock full of features. My favorite feature again is the Zoom attendance tracking. I don't know how many customers, how many times have asked us for bringing back attendees that attended virtual meetings through Zoom back into our back office. That's exciting. I also liked I think the reminders, which is now an hourly reminder scheduling feature that we've added. Earlier, the reminder used to be only at a fixed time before the meeting, up to 48 hours or something like that, right, Tariq? Keep me honest
Exactly.
here.
It was 2 days. It was 2 days. Now you can go to 1 hour before
the meeting, which is a big deal. So I know that when you have attendees across multiple time zones, particularly for virtual meetings, that was an important thing to increase event attendance. So that's something that we've released. Again, please provide us feedback. We've rolled out this big improvement in multiple waves because there were lots of different ways events get used, including payments that are taken for tickets. So we wanted to be really careful. So kudos to our product team who really planned out that rollout. We think it went, there were kinks as usual. There were, when you release very big features, but we feel like we were pretty responsive and were able to handle this rollout well. Very quickly, please answer the poll, because this was a huge effort on our side. Particularly even just the Zoom attendance took a lot of effort. So please take a moment to answer the poll and let us know whether you're enjoying this feature in its new form. Is there something specific that you're waiting for, and what can we do better?
Interesting. This one, we have quite 1/3 who weren't aware about it. So interesting. I think we need to do better to make you aware of these kind of improvements. And actually, for those who perhaps followed this big project since last year, where we included a lot of our customers in the beta since June last year, because we wanted to improve it with your feedback, we made sure that it wasn't only a revamp of the experience, but we included those new features to show also the value of taking the time of completely revamping an experience in our platform. So we'll make sure to understand a little bit more what would make you aware of it.
Yeah, maybe we run a few dedicated sessions in our community as well, just on events as a topic. I know it's a big deal, and events coupled with Orbit in particular can make a really powerful combination for drive connection and networking.
Yeah, and I can say, of course, it's my team, but thanks to the product engineering team, because they did the job. Thanks, I think, and I'm perhaps mistaken, and sorry if I'm mistaken, I think we had 35 customers, perhaps I'm mistaken, but it's around that kind of scale. Participated in the beta program since June last year. So really thank you everyone for all the feedback that you gave us so far.
Great. I'll pick up the pace a little bit because we do want to move into the future. Tons and tons of improvements around just that topic of scalable management, but in particular, the API endpoints is something we see goes by unnoticed quite a bit because we just keep improving our APIs. We've internally picked up, in fact, Tariq sent out a big memo to the entire product and engineering team that every single feature that we release has to be API ready. So you'll see even more of that API readiness kick in. And it makes a lot of sense, right? As we release AI and agents and our MCP and all of that, you would absolutely need to think API first. So that's something that will continue to evolve, but it's already in a very good state. In fact, we have customers using our product with their own lovable extensions and all of that, which we are finding out now thanks to our API, which is already in its current state pretty solid. The analytics piece is another one that we will talk more about in a little while, but we've added a number of different data points to our analytics repository, and now you have full history available beyond 13 months. That's something I know that's been requested for a long time. We've tweaked it and optimized it to be able to open that up to all of you. Time-based filters, mentoring dashboard, and like I said before, the reactions that people give, specific reactions, is what you can also track in the back end in your analytics section now. I won't call out all the other things because it could take up the whole webinar, but we'll share this presentation with you, or we'll share this recording with you, and we'll make sure that we follow up with discussions as well as office hour demonstrations of all of these features. Next slide. This is, of course, like I said, a strategic investment and extremely important to us. Specifically, user and admin session controls is something that you waited for a long time. Especially many of our higher education customers have insisted that they want full control to be able to log people out or log admins out from their various sessions. So now that is available to you, and there's other things like that, mystery link warnings, external link protection. You can go take a look at it, but just be rest assured this is something that we take very seriously, and you'll continuously see in almost every release either vulnerabilities being addressed or other security issues being addressed. And the small stuff is what often creates the big impact. So I think the notifications deep link to the comments, to exact point where a comment has been comment was written, is something that we find is driving engagement, because when you click on that notification, it takes you right to the point of the comment, not to the top of the post. So if it's a post that's very that the specific point of the comment often gets lost, that's something that we've done, as well as there's another feature on the live feed here, right, Tariq, that we were talking about. That's
so you have the copy and you have the notification that brings you, so both notifications that brings you directly to the comment, and you can copy directly the comment link so that you can share it with other members. Or
great, thank you. I think the media center last updated date. I visited a customer in Washington DC last month. We have just a little bit of insight in how we work internally. If it's a very small change, which is more which can be accommodated in a few hours, or that's very visual and it doesn't have a big impact, we're able to process them pretty quickly. We call them delights. So that was a feature that I heard a customer complain about, came back, I filed a delight, and within a matter of a couple weeks, we were able to release it. So please have again, another reason why you should submit your feedback. We do notice it, we do process it, and we do address it if it's easy to take up at any point in time. Move on to, I think we're done, right, Tariq? I feel like we've already finished the whole work for this whole year.
I think we are done. I think you can thank everyone. Perhaps the new way, Usha. So let me
why don't I send a post? Why don't I do this? If you're already done, I can just send a post through our community to all our customers who've said thank you. Maybe I'll do that right now. I'll schedule.
Sure. How? Wait, what scheduling? No, Usha. Wait a second. I'll share with everyone how we now do that in Hivebrite. So for those who are perhaps a bit familiar, and so perhaps the few polls and questions that I shared with you in the, let me just share my screen, with the Hivebrite community, AI is transforming completely how we are operating. And so let me now show you how we are creating and managing our community. So we are doing a webinar that is named What's Next for Hivebrite Roadmap. We are still doing the webinar, and I want to thank all those who registered and are participating to this webinar. Create a message that I will post on the community now to thank them, and tag Usha, please.
Wait, what is this?
So this is not even the future, Usha. This is happening today. This is going to be available to everyone, hopefully by end of June. This is what we call, for those who know, our MCP. And so today the MCP is connected to our internal communities. One of them is the Hivebrite community. So you see that it was using my voice skill. So it's like you using your Claude Cowork, your ChatGPT, your Gemini, etc., etc., etc. And now it's connected directly to Hivebrite. You are able to interact with the community directly. So I like the message and I say, okay, great, post it. It's done. Let's go to the Hivebrite community and check that it was done. Community, it's a post. It was done. Well tagged.
Awesome.
So, and this is how we see Hivebrite and communities in the future. How we see them is to be ambient. What's happening is that the world is changing. Usha started the webinar today with this, and communities, your communities, are adapting fast. That's for sure. We are helping you. We are trying to make sure that we're helping you accelerate that adoption. And as I said, when I see the poll that I sent 2 months ago, and by the way, thanks to the few that I sent DMs directly through the community to have discussions on this topic, really thank you for that and for your reactivity. I do use the Hivebrite community every single day, and I do contact a few of you, and I find that super insightful. And so when I see the movement and the acceleration in how you operate, I really believe that in 6 months from now, we will look back and say, wow, like how we are running communities is changing drastically. And we need to keep one thing in mind, is that we still need communities to be human and human in the loop. We don't want our communities to be run by automations and agents. We just need to make sure that you have the tools that makes it easier, more impactful, and the outcome is our goal. And it's not about automation for the sake of automation. It's really our goal every single day. We think about how you manage and scale your communities. So this is where we see Hivebrite, as we see Hivebrite as we are making sure that the community is ambient. It means that it's coming to you as a member wherever you are. It used to be that the community is a destination. We want members to come to the community, to either connect in the community or to learn within the community. We really believe, and what I just showed, and I think some of you are already experiencing that on a daily basis in your work, is that actually you are connecting to different tools, to different people from different areas. And that's how we see the touch points are now 360. And so we want the community to reach the members where they are when they need the community. And so when they need to go to the community on the platform, they go on the platform. When they need it through email, it's already what they are doing. They consume it and react with it in the email, etc., etc. And so we see three main touch points. The first one is what I just presented, which is more and more, even members will use AI orchestrators. We start with you, those who are managing, operating, driving the community, so that you are able through your AI orchestrators to interact with your community and scale your work. Second, communication channels. You already have emails. We'll go into that a little bit further into how we are transforming that. But we are thinking about how can you make sure that your members are also able to interact and consume and find value through WhatsApp, through SMS, etc., etc. And last but not least, when they are on the platform, how do you make sure that their experience is adapted and tailored to them, to their goals? They see exactly at the individual level a personalized experience. And so really, if you need to take one message from this and what I'm going to share as happening, either happened already or happening, is that we don't want a community and a platform, a technology to be a destination that you need to remember. We need to be part of the experience of your members without even thinking about it. Of course, they think about your community as a brand and the value that is bringing to them, but not as I need to go to the mobile app, I need to go to the web, I need to go to my email. It's going to be super seamless. So what does that mean concretely? Let me go back, and I know it's going to be a lot of information, so I'm going to take it step by step. First, we already have Digest. All of you probably are using it. Digest consolidate certain information to the users based on the groups, based on what's happening in the community. What's going to happen, and this is the goal, that is, we are starting to deliver part of it, but the idea is that by the end of the year, beginning of next year, is that those digests are going to be personalized to the user. What Usha and Tarek and Jacqueline and Kat will see are going to be completely different. Second, we are investing a lot in WhatsApp. We really believe that WhatsApp is a channel that will help either you pushing information, and same here, if you are pushing the same kind of digest, you can interact with that digest. Of course, there is a cost, but this is another discussion. But what is super interesting, and we'll see later on, is as a member, I will be able to interact with my community, pull information, request information. So we're not replacing WhatsApp as a messaging tool and making sure that people message each other. We're not competing against WhatsApp. We are leveraging WhatsApp as a platform because we believe that a lot of the members are already using WhatsApp. And this is key for the success of your members, is to be able to find value directly when they are leveraging WhatsApp. Imagine that when they are getting matched on Orbit, or if there is a reminder email, that reminder email or matching reminder is sent to them through WhatsApp. The participation rate, it will be much higher, and they will be finding value in that. Of course, I mentioned the AI orchestrator that I just showed to you. It's already live. So what are we shipping? And Usha said that, and you saw the acceleration, you saw what we delivered since the beginning of February, and we are keeping that acceleration thanks to the entire team. So to make this a reality, it's already a reality, you saw it in MCP. We are making sure that whatever we deliver is serving the community so that it manages itself, part of it, so that you can focus on your members and the value. It serves its members and it gets smarter every single day. First, we're going to take the same themes that Usha shared with you. Scalable management. What are we doing so that even if you are a solo administrator and community manager of your community, how do you make sure that even with the growth of your community, the growth of the members, of all the content that you need to manage, you are able to scale it? First, automation. You know that we already mentioned it in the roadmap, so I'm going to share right away what's going to be in beta in a few weeks from now, and it's going to be live, hopefully the first version by the end of June. So some of you are already being contacted to be in beta, and you know that you can go to the product labs on the customer community to participate to that. So here you see this is in our testing environment is being tested, where you can, of course, create an automation. By creating an automation, I don't know if I have time to go through that, but you understand the principle. So you can, of course, save triggers. You can add an audience, user list. You select your user list. From there, you can add action. What do I do with them? I can send emails, notifications, etc., etc., etc. So I'm not gonna go. I'm just showing that it's a reality. It's happening in just a few weeks. The beta is going to be starting, and then this is the type of topic that, like AI search that Usha mentioned earlier, that will keep improving because it's something that is a continuous improvement. Same for automation. We'll deliver a first version or certain triggers, certain actions, and throughout the rest of H2, we will improve and add actions and triggers. User data webhooks. This is for those of you who leverage a lot our integration and APIs. And for those who don't know webhooks, what it is, usually when you use integrations, you have to schedule the APIs to update the data. Here, it's a scalable way so that you don't need to do that. And it has two advantages. As soon as something happens, and we'll start with user data, and thanks for the few customers that are going to run the beta with us early June, that triggers your business processes and the updates. It has two advantages. One, the cost for you, because if you are leveraging HubSpot, Salesforce, etc., you are paying for those API calls and those processes. Second is that it's much more effective and efficient. And we'll start with user data, and then we'll start accelerating with a lot of other activities and events happening on the platform, of course. MCP, I just shared it. Audit log UI. This is in the back office. Some of you are already leveraging the API. What we are doing is that we are making sure that all of you have the access to the audit log. It's a security feature. So a lot of you are already asking our support team, who did this? Why this content was modified? By whom? When? Why was it deleted? This will give you directly access to answer that question yourself and to make sure that you know who within your team did that action and when. I'm going a bit fast because I know that there are so many things, but don't hesitate to put questions and we'll try to answer it later on. Content discovery, connection, and networking. What's going to happen in the next 90 days? Bookmarking. Beta is going to come very soon. So let me share that already happening in our platform. So in our platform, you see here that it's bookmarked here as well. If I want to bookmark this, I save it. I go to my bookmarks. So you'll see something that I'm going to Japan this weekend. So you see a lot of posts that were done by our Hivebriters around Japan. So this is happening now and will be also an input to the recommendation and understanding our users and members and making sure that we recommend the content that makes sense. Follow member, I will share more later, is happening as well now. WhatsApp integration. This is my best. This is I'm not going to say my baby because I don't like that word, but it's really one of my favorite, let's say, product decisions that the team did and worked on. So let me explain again. I showed just before that we are not replacing WhatsApp. We are leveraging WhatsApp as a platform for your members. So let me share because this is already happening. So this is my personal WhatsApp. Of course, I created on the side favorites, so I don't share private information. So this is Hivebrite integration. So it's our testing environment and it's connected to our testing environment. So I'm a member and I'm trying to understand what are the events that are coming on us and what are the upcoming events, perhaps the 5 upcoming events. This allows me, as I say, to have this ambient experience. I'm not gonna go to the mobile app or go to 5 events. Let's try. Can you tell me more about the mentor training day 2 event? And so I'm still working. I use a lot WhatsApp on the side while working. And so I'm trying to understand, should I register to something? And I'm interested perhaps in being mentored. By the way, it's mentoring. Would you like me to help find any mentors? Yes, please. Let me type it, didn't understand. So I'm not gonna go further, but you understand the experience that we are now creating for our members and the fact that you can, from WhatsApp, be able to have those information. Let me just do one last thing.
Tariq, during our testing, sorry to interrupt, but my favorite part was when you tried to access information on somebody.
That's what I'm gonna do, exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah, great.
Can you give me the email of Isabella, please? Actually, no, you don't have access. But how can I message or contact or connect with Isabella? And this is the beauty of being ambient. Then WhatsApp will push you to go to the community, because in the community you have a messaging experience. And it's not replacing WhatsApp, is that to get that privacy as well, and to make sure that we take into account that some people want to be messaged, some people don't want to be messaged, etc. We make sure that that's part of the experience. The screen again. WhatsApp integration, mobile app. Usha mentioned already the mobile app, but let me also share a bit what's going on the mobile app. So I was saying that this is Lindsay. I reacted to her. You saw the crab here that Usha was mentioning before. Stories that is coming soon live. Our CEO, Jean, who just posted 20 minutes ago, a picture from our office. You will be able to create natively a post, to create an event natively. Perhaps, by the way, I think you saw that you can also schedule, notify members, you can schedule directly, and you can directly create in the group that you belong to. So the idea is really to create a native experience more and more. This is the global search. Who at Hivebrite likes pizza? This is my test because I like pizza and I discuss a lot of pizza. Let's see what's the answer there. Andrew, because he's pizzaiolo. Anyways, it's quite interesting in our community to see what's going on. And what's going to happen also in the coming months is that we will personalize more and more the experience. And so let me share with you where we are going in terms of experience on the mobile app. So today you saw you have the Explore, what I just shared. This is something that you already know, or at least for those who don't have the mobile app, you are starting to discover more and more. And the idea is to create more personalized experience. So on the mobile app, you will have your dedicated, recommended connections, content. And when you say content, it depends on you. So perhaps you are interested by forum discussions. Perhaps you are interested by opportunities, by groups. Then it depends how you created the groups. Are there chapters, events, etc., etc. So that's the idea that we are going to. As you said, it's ambient from different touch points. And when you are in the platform, it's super personalized to you. Now you'll say, yes, awesome. Is there anything new on top of this? Hopefully this is already new for some of you.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we are introducing our AI specialists. We name our agent specialists. Why? Because our specialists, how we see them, is that they work alongside you. It means that they don't replace you. You are in control. They are going to work and be specialists in one outcome. We want them really to be outcome driven, goal driven. And so each of those specialists, they are built around one community goal. You understand when I give examples. They take the signals, apply judgment, and act, but you're still in control. You still decide if you want to validate what they're going to do, or if you want some supervision, which means that they can take actions, but then you can control what they are thinking. So I just put a video so that you see it live, how the experience is going to look like in the coming weeks. I'm not talking about months here. I said 90 days for all this to be happening. And so I wanted to introduce one specialist. We don't have time. I was going to poll or ask the question. So obviously, I hope that everyone, when you see this, you think about connecting people. One of the best, perhaps, and most important outcomes that you are looking at when you are driving a community. And so it's already working, of course, on our internal Hivebrite that I showed to you, which is it recommends to you connections based on your profile, based on the data that you have in your profile, based on the summary that Usha was mentioning, because you mentioned some objectives. And so thanks to that, you can follow the person. That's why I didn't show the follow feature earlier. You can message the person, etc., etc. And in the future, when I say future, in the coming weeks as well, when you register to an event, it will automatically suggest within those participants to connect to based on different signals that the system is getting. And so those specialists will take into account that your members engage differently and they act on it. And when we say engage differently, I can take examples between perhaps Usha and myself who engage a little bit the same way on our internal communities. But let's take Hivebrite communities that some of you know, and some hundreds engage quite on a regular basis. I perhaps post once every 2 months, but actually I go every single day. So my engagement profile is very different from Erin, that all of you know, that every Wednesday is posting that welcome message, and thank you, Erin, and also reacting, etc. Jacqueline, who's doing the tip of the week. So our engagement profile is different, but both of us are quite engaged. And that's what's important, is that we want, by taking the data, understand how we are engaged. So we defined engagement tiers. I will talk about them just a little bit after. The frequency, from where did you engage? Did you engage from an email, from WhatsApp, from an SMS, from within the platform, from within the platform? And we will want the specialist to proactively mitigate the risk of those members becoming dormant and disengaged somehow. So within dormant, the idea is disengagement, and they lose the connection with the community and you cannot retrieve them. And so we defined 3 tiers. Consumers, same within the ambient world. So they can click on an email, they can open the mobile app, they can view a content, they can search a content on web, or they can ask a question on WhatsApp. And this is just some lists. It's hundreds of activities that we are tracking. Reactors, they comment a post, they follow a user, they emoji on a content. There is an intent, as Uja was mentioning before. And last but not least, contributors. And we are not saying one is better than the other. It's just engagement tiers that are different and engagement profiles that are different. And so a contributor who will create a post on mobile, or send a DM on a member, or create a user event, or of course, join an Orbit matching round, because by doing that, they are contributing to the engagement within Orbit. And so, for instance, this is from our production environment. It's not yet live, but by end of June, the team is working on revamping completely the analytics that you have access to in the back office. You will see a completely different experience, taking into account mobile app data, Orbit data, and the steering, so that you understand better your members, and not, it's just the first step, so that the second step will be to proactively suggest actions to you. And you will find these also in the automations, hopefully in the coming months, so that we are not just saying someone who didn't engage during 30 days, let's send an email. We say, based on your engagement profile, the system will suggest an action. And perhaps after a few days on Hivebrite for Hivebrite, which is our internal community, they will see that I'm disengaged and they will trigger me. But also for Usha, who goes every other week, the system will wait a bit. So you see how we define an active user, and those actives could be consumers, reactors, or contributors. But then we have the dormant and we have the non-activated, so you have the big picture. I'm not gonna go too deep. We still have some topics to discuss, but I hope that you understood what you will see in the coming weeks. And that's why we did this presentation with Usha, so that you understand where we are going in the coming weeks, and not just in 3 months or 6 months from now. But when you see all this, we wanted to add one last thing, because we really, and let me be quite transparent, this is gonna be a surprise for our teams as well. Only a few members of Hivebrite know already this. So one last thing that's going to happen in the coming, hopefully, 2 to 3 months. This is the goal. We will deliver waitlist event feature. So this is an example of something that, thanks to all the work that the product engineering team has been doing in the last 1 year, wouldn't have been possible today to be able to do what we are sharing in terms of agentic vision, automation, all those delights, all these improvements, and bringing a feature like event waitlist to the market. We know that it's something that is expected from a lot of you. And to be transparent, I even checked when was the first time a feedback was mentioned to us on waitlist. It was in February 2020. So a little bit more than 6 years. Long time. Hivebrite have been evolving a lot, but thanks again to all of you for waiting for this, and we'll make it a great enhancement in the event. We know that the event module is super important, and we really believe that event waitlist will drive, one, more revenue for those who are focusing on revenue, but also much better experience for those members that try to register to high demand events, but also it gives you a sense of what is expected from the members, but also it gives the system recommendation to those members, because if they see that they are on waitlist on certain events, it will drive also a signal for the rest. Usha, perhaps I will stop here if you have one last.
No, I think just I'm really appreciate all the comments and the candid conversation. Guys, this is why we make it a customer community event. I know there are a few what we call as late stage prospects who are ready to come on board as customers who have also been invited to this event on purpose. We want you to see what it feels like coming and joining the Hivebrite family, what's coming in the coming months, and we appreciate all this feedback. We will make sure that we look at every one of the questions, and if it's not answered, we will come back to you. We are all reachable through the Hivebrite community. Please contact us directly through DMs. We will respond and we'll make sure that you get your questions addressed. Obviously, we are a SaaS product and we can't address every single requirement at exactly that point in time that you want it. We try our best to help you with product capabilities. If not, we try to solution with you. We try to unblock you as much as possible. And in situations when we cannot solve your problem, we try to be as candid about that with you as well. So we appreciate you coming along with us on this journey. We'll try to keep this going as a regular update because things are evolving really rapidly. We are solving for problems. We are very clear about the problems we need to solve for. The solutions change as the technologies are evolving around us. So you may see different solutions, but we will address the problems which stare at us in our face as hard problems for you to solve as community managers. So thank you for your participation. Thank you for your feedback. Look for follow-up on all the questions. We will share a recording of this webinar in the community as well. And again, please feel free to schedule time directly with any one of us if you want to have deeper conversations. Also, if you have a point of view on where communities are going in the future, we would love to pick your brains on that. We would love to incorporate that into the direction that we are taking. So thank you once again, and thanks for joining at short notice. Really appreciate you all and appreciate your business.
Thanks everyone.